Land Back. This is Chief Mona, lead of the design committee, and we want propagandists, artists, writers, designers, creators, and creatives willing to expand their skill set to join the design committee because we are the team behind two cogs in the propaganda machine. One is the BHO Bazaar, which is our online market, which means we are designing merch and keeping track of sales, and designing the printed propaganda to make sure the masses remain informed and inspired.
Yes, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Hey.
I'm here with my coffee.
Yeah, we both drinking coffee up in here. About to get our political education on. Welcome. Hopefully y'all are streaming in, hopping in with your coffee, with your breakfast, getting a good start to your first Sunday of 2021?
Yep.
That's right. First Sunday of 2021.
AI, land back.
Who's that? Kush King, land back to all of you who are hopping in right now. So early too, so early. Land back, Nicardo, land back. Welcome. If you think you're hallucinating somehow, no, you are not hallucinating. We have twins in the house. Land back at Indira. Land back. No hallucinations up here, no tricks, no games from the Black Hammer organization. We are twins. We are revolutionary twins up in here, getting ready to give you your political education. This the start out 2021. I'm so excited, y'all. Honestly, I could not think of a better way to start this year than being with my comrades and with my brother. And again, leading y'all and also learning from y'all, through this book that we're about to get into. My heart is just like, ooh, Lay Jammers shared it already. This is beautiful.
Yes, let's make sure we're liking and sharing this book trap. Let's get this out to as many people as possible. We want to get this political education to all the masses. Land back, Sante.
Oh, I saw Moxley in the house too. Land back, Moxley. Yep, Moxley's in the house. Oh, land back. Who's that? I couldn't see. I'm sorry if I messed up your name. Dipchak, land back. Ooh, we got a bunch of shares coming in. It's so beautiful. Let me tell you what we're reading. While y'all are liking and sharing, put it in like every single Facebook group you're in, because they're gonna need the good word of this book. We're going through the Zapatistas, y'all. And so we're going through this book that my brother and I we're really reading about our ancestors, right? Both my brother and I are come from the colonized nation of Mexico. So we're gonna do introductions first and talk about like our connection to this book and towards our ancestors, which is what the book is about. So land back. My name is Cuauhtli. Just to give y'all some practice there. Cuauhtli. My name is Cuauhtli. I represent the colonized nation of Mexico, and my pronouns are he, him. Land back.
That's my twin brother. Land back, y'all. My name is Xolotl. I also represent the colonized nation of Mexico, and my pronouns are he, him. I just want to, and then I also want to touch on my twin brother is the reason that I'm in Black Hammer today, and I think that was the best decision that I've ever made. I can't thank my brother. I can't thank my brother enough for getting me into this org and meeting so many great comrades, locally, internationally. Y'all are great, and I can't wait to dive into this book with all of y'all. Share this experience.
Land back. That honestly warms my heart so much, right? Land back, Girasol, land back. Land back, Cathusin. Land back. Hey,
Thank you.
epic ass. Hey, epic ass twins. That's right, Chief Through. That's right. Epic. This isn't everything that Black Hammer does is epic, right? The way we move is epic. The way we love each other is epic, right? And that's really what I got from hearing my brother speak about, why he joined the organization. And and I'm very happy that my brother's in the organization, right? And I'm happy that we're going through this with y'all, that we're reading the Zapatistas. Like, this is better than a dream come true, right? So, land back. Keep liking and sharing, y'all. Keep liking and sharing. Everyone needs to start their Sunday morning with this political education. So before we do that, I don't know if y'all heard, but we're building a city. We are building a city for colonized people. Black Hammer is doing that thing. Black Hammer is building a dual contending power. We are getting our land back, and we're gonna see how that connects a lot with the book that we're reading. But in order to do that, we need donations, y'all. We need money. We need donations. So, our goal for our book trap today is $100. Okay, so I want to see $100 going towards our people by the end of this book trap. I know that we've got a lot of people right now watching that love their people so much, that want to be free so much, that we can easily raise $100. That's easy. So start dropping them donations in the chats. Call up your colonizer friends early in the morning and ask where the hell your money is, because we are owed that.
We already got a donation, $15.
Ooh, we got 15 already. This is Ben Hamid. Thank you.
We got another 5.
Thank you, land back.
Hey, I got 10 on it. Land back.
Hey, keep dropping them donations, y'all. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let's keep them coming.
Cathusin pledging 5.
That's right. That's right. I believe in you. You're gonna get that. It's coming in the mail. It's coming soon. Man back. Thank you. Oh, we got another donation. We got 5 on it. Thank you. Who else?
Kush King got 5 on it. Land back.
We're gonna get past. Ooh.
Lay's matching that donation as well. Thank you. Thank you, Lay.
This is beautiful to watch, y'all. Beautiful.
Through pledging 5. Another 5. 5 pounds. All right. Anything helps.
5 pounds. There we go. I don't know. I'm not good with currency exchanges and stuff, so I don't know what that means.
Pledging 10. Pledging 10. Thank you, land back.
Land back. So beautiful. Keep donating, y'all. Hammer City's about to be popping.
We already at 80.
Oh,
y'all are showing through. Or these twins.
Damn, y'all really like twins, huh? y'all really mess with us like that, don't you? Dang.
Showing the love. I love all y'all. Thank you.
Dang.
12 in reparations on it. All right.
There you go. That's
Thank
right.
you.
Call up your colonizer friends. Tell them we're building the city. Tell them we're getting our land back. Tell them we are freeing our people.
All right, y'all. Thanks for the donations. We're gonna have another segment for that. But let's get into it. All right, let's get into this. And we have a book trap trivia for all y'all. All right, get your minds working early in the morning. All right, so what we got? What was the name of the comrade who became the de facto symbol of the Zapatistas? So we got A, Rogelio, B, Soledad, C, Xolotl and D. Marcos. So let's hear. Drop your answers in the chat. All right, let us know what y'all think the answer is.
You read the book. All y'all, I know all y'all read the book. I know all y'all read the book. Y'all should know this one. Y'all should know this one. I'm not gonna give it away. Let me get some answers here. What's the answer? Let me see. We got a guess. Oh, we got. Oh,
that was another pledge of 20. All right, thank you, comrade. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. While we're waiting for these answers, let's make sure that. Dang. Okay, we got some. Okay, we got some guesses here. Yes. While y'all are guessing, we're waiting on these answers. Let's make sure to get our read that backs ready. Okay. Make sure you have them ready with you. You wrote them down. Go get that notebook. You marked it down on the page. Go find that page because we're about to get into this. We want y'all to type those in when the time comes. But y'all gotta be ready. You know Black Hammer stays ready. We never caught lacking. We're always staying ready. Y'all should too. Get them read that backs ready.
All right, we got a lot of answers already. So if we want to go to see what the answer is, and y'all were right. D. Marcos.
D. Marcos. If you were wrong, if you guessed wrong, that's another $5 towards Hammer City. That's another $5 towards Hammer City. Land back.
Got it good. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, I saw a lot of good responses there. That shows.
Reading the material.
All right, y'all. So let's see. All right, so let's get into our first read that back. So we find the page of the book. All right, so our first read that back is on page 28. So I'm going to go ahead and read. While the liberal reform laws effectively challenged certain powerful actors and their entrenched privilege, they also represented a new front in the assault upon indigenous lifeways in the name of progress. Far from the power struggles animating central Mexico in Chiapas, modernization took on very particular dimensions in relation to indigenous communities. As a result of the reform laws, indigenous indebted servitude became one of the faces of progress in the 1870s and 1880s. Ironically, revolution or claims to progressive reform for Chiapanecos would all too often come to signify new and even more pervasive forms of domination and exploitation, as the individual was freed from the bonds of community to sell his labor on the open market. Ultimately, the radical destabilization that would result from this liberal conservative conflict would culminate in the Mexican Revolution. In another sadly ironic twist, even as liberal and conservative elites sought to consolidate their privilege and power by pillaging the most vulnerable, the war against the French invaders was fought and won largely by peasants and workers engaged in guerrilla struggle. Land back. So a bit of context to this read that back. Obviously, we're talking about the 1870s and 1880s. There's a lot. There's a lot going on in Mexico, and this part of the first chapter really goes into like the history of like the foundation of like the Mexican state, and a lot of the turmoil that really led up to the revolutionary spirit of the Zapatistas. Right, just don't come out of nowhere. So. And yeah, in this read that back, in that read that back, I really we can really tie this to our third principle of unity, which is that all problems faced by colonized people is due to colonialism and neocolonialism. So during the 1870s and 1880s, right, you had this era of so-called like modernization, progress. Oh my gosh, like we're gonna go into Chiapas, this indigenous state in Mexico, right? We're gonna go in and we're gonna modernize. We're gonna make life so much better for indigenous communities there, and we know that that is all BS, right? Like these liberal conservative elites, we're just looking to further exploit the masses, right? Further exploit the indigenous masses of Chiapas, and I love how this clearly lays out, something that we have here at Black Hammer is that like we don't just see like white power in white face, right, and attack it and call it out. We also see like white power in brown face, white power in black face. Because materially, like that is just as damaging to us as colonized people as white power in white face. It's really showing how this struggle. It really shows how this struggle helped birth this great revolutionary group of the Zapatistas. Right, we see this in like different struggles, right? Just thinking of like different book traps. Like we see like these like these petty blue neo-colonial sellouts like selling out to people to again like consolidate their power. What do you think?
Yeah. That's really the core of contradiction there. I do want to also get into I guess the conditions, really what the peasants were struggling with, because they were the driving force against the conservatives and also this French invasion that was going on at the time in the state of Mexico. So it was the peasants that actually were the driving force to push the French invaders out. And once they defeated the French and said, okay, yeah, let's get our land back, the elites did not back them up at all. So it just really shows that like even in war, even in battle, they didn't have their backs. The peasants, the indigenous peasants, they did so much. They did so much for the state, and the state just didn't care at all. It just really shows the true colors of those elites, and that really led to I guess the awakening of the peasants, that there needs to be a revolution in order for them to get what they want, and also be in charge of like their life, their labor, their resources, and that's really what we hammer home in Black Hammer. But yeah, I think that this Read That Back really gets into like the origins of revolution for Mexico. That's what I love about this.
Yes. Right. Again, like this perfectly like connects back to like the political line. Yes, Katari, yes, that happens all the time.
Todo el tiempo, siempre pasa.
Yes, siempre, cada vez se aparece en diferentes partes del mundo. All right, toma no Spanish. But yes, yes, keep them comments coming. What y'all thinking? Yes, never forget about the colonized masses. That's right. Land back, Ali. Land back.
We're excited as well.
Yes. Ooh, I'm excited. I don't know if you're excited as me, Ali.
It's not just this coffee.
It's not just the coffee. Right. So yeah, hopefully y'all got your Read That Backs ready. Because we do want the audience to give us their Read That Backs. Yeah. So if you have your quote ready, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Make sure to give it. Make sure to give us some fire up in this chat. Yes. All right. I'm back. Yes. Make sure to drop those audience read that backs. Well, I know what y'all think. What did you get from the book, right? What did you get? While we're waiting, yeah. While we're waiting, Daniel, what did I know, Daniel, you were talking about when we were reading this, like this how this book relates to like our experience of like growing up in like these colonized communities where they talked about you know, how what's it called, how we were taught about Zapata and
you know what, we actually got to read that back right there.
Okay, for sure.
While land has been redistributed to constitute these ejidos, many of the parcels were too small to support a single family, forging ejardaridos to sell their labor to neighboring estates or to work as migrant workers. Compounding this was the environmental degradation resulting from the high population density from the ejidos themselves. While constituting nearly half of all landowners, smallholders occupied less than 1% of the land. Only 2.4% of the population, what was the rest of that? Only 2.4% of the population, large landowners possessing more than 1,000 hectare-acres, own nearly 60% of the land. All right, yeah, and then that's the quote. Yeah, I'll touch on that a little bit.
No, you got it. I'll chime in. You got it. Let me tell you what you tell me what you thought.
Yeah. Obviously, like I think scientifically, you can see the vast gap between the peasantry and also the ones who owned the land, and that's what that's what's been going on for so long. Pre-revolution in Mexico. Again, we'll see in a little bit how much Zapatismo is so closely tied to the land question. It's going to be a big theme for Emiliano Zapata. But yeah, got anything as well?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for that summation. Thank you for reading that. Yeah, again, like just like reading that huge that huge gap in terms of like the peasants and the elites, really shows you like where Mexico was at, right? Like these like indigenous peasants were like truly like dispossessed, right? Were truly like being looted, robbed, of their labor, of their resources, and of their land, and like I mean, yeah, that's just you can't fudge the math on that. You can't fudge the math and tell the colonized masses otherwise, right? What's that? We got another one?
No, I think that's just a comment. It's not read that fast.
Yeah. To become small land concessions have often been used to lure the people out to become tied to the land and consumerism, or to be outright slaughtered by U.S.-backed dictators. It's really all or nothing. That's right. Yes, that's right. Land back. Thank you, Qatari. Yeah, because they do be giving out those carrots, right? They do be giving out those small little concessions, and try and draw out these like revolutionary forces to out of hiding, and yeah, just set that up as a trap. Again, we've seen that all over the place, and we'll certainly see it here with this book about the Zapatistas. Yeah, these colonizers always stay scheming. They always be saying scheming. I mean, you always gotta be looking over your shoulder. But
it helps when you got a twin that will look over your other shoulder as well. I'll be looking over your shoulder. You look over my shoulder.
That's right. And that's what Black Hammer is all about, right? We always be looking over each other. So we always got each other's backs, right? And if you touch one, you touch all hammers, right? And that's not a slogan. That's a fact. That is an actual fact that shows up materially in every single meeting, every single time we're out. Don't be messing with no hammers. Land back. So I think we're ready to get into our second read that back. We got a juicy one, honestly. I love this book so much. And I don't know, I just love reading too. But our second read that back is going to be on page 35. Okay. This one's really juicy. If I could read the entire book, I honestly would. But my brother's gonna go and read it. Yes, from there.
All right, cool. All right. So here's our second read that back. Emiliano Zapata signed and issued the Plan of Ayala in the village of Ayala on 22nd of November 1911. The plan was issued in an effort to clarify to the rest of the Mexican nation why the Zapatistas had not yet laid down their arms. Beginning with a complete rejection of Madero, the plan proceeds to lay out the fundamental tenets of Zapatismo. Particularly significant are Articles 6, 7, and 8, which directly address the redistribution of land to those who work it, as well as the nationalization of lands of those landlords, científicos, or bosses who oppose the present plan. The Zapatistas remain committed to the revolutionary principles of the Plan of San Luis Potosí, which called for the dismissal of all incumbent officials at both local and federal levels, the free election and impartial appointment of new officials, and the judicial review of all disputed cases involving rural real estate. The Zapatistas' plan of Ayala, however, went much further in its call for peasants to reclaim lands immediately themselves and to defend them by force of arms, without the need for approval by any higher authority. The plan of Ayala crystallized the radical spirit at the heart of Zapatismo. In the words of Adolfo Gili, Emiliano Zapata did not set out to destroy the capitalist system. His ideas sprang from the peasantry, not from a socialist program. However, implementation of the Ayala plan would have effectively smashed the living roots of capitalism, for it would have involved nationalization of all the property from the ruling classes. More important still, because actually applied by the peasantry, was the principle that the people themselves should decide, arms in hand, that instead of waiting for the revolution to triumph and enact the necessary legislation, they would begin cultivating and defending the land.
I told you that one was juicy. I told you. I told you that one was beautiful. Land back. Damn, you read that so well, honestly. So when you read that, right, Dale, I guess where did your mind go in terms of how that relates to like our organization, right? Like what are we looking at here?
Yeah, definitely pointing to like our principle of unity, number 3. No, not number 3. Mostly 1. Sorry. In which the colonized proletariat should have dictatorship over their land, labor, resources. And as I said before, this was very fundamental to Zapatismo early on. Like this is the foundation with the plan of Ayala, and also touching on the plan of San Luis Potosí. these were the early demands by Emiliano Zapata himself. Like, hey, the peasants need to have control over their land in order to actually be free and not have just these petty concessions to these peasants. After being being disenfranchised and have their land taken from them for so long. So even in this revolution, the so-called progressives still weren't meeting those demands, so Zapata and his forces said, no, this ain't it. So we need our land no matter what. And as Dr. Cuauhtli pointed out, these ideas sprang from the peasants and not some sort of reforms or socialist programs. And I think that also ties back to point of unity number 3, in which there will be neocolonial sellouts. But we can't let this neocolonial sellouts dictate like what we actually need, what we actually want in order to be free. We need this land, we need our resources, and be in dictatorship of our labor. I really want to just it was so beautiful how Zapata just kept fighting for what the peasants needed and what was necessary in order to be free.
Yeah, damn it, man! I was gonna jump in. I felt like jumping in. I was like, no, but yeah, when you talked about when you talked about like again like these petty boo like neocolonial sellouts, like constantly constantly like co-opting like these like peasant-led like demands, and we see this throughout even before this read that back, right, like in the rest of the book, the top one, like it's almost like a reoccurring theme in Mexico, of like like this, like here a list of the peasants lay out these like list of demands and like here's what we want. And it's this constant like kicking of like kicking the can down the road of like, oh well, we can give you like this much, we can give you these like petty concessions. And right, it's just so prevalent in Mexican history, and it just we're kind of reading of like how like Zapata finally said like no more, like again showing that line of like principle of unity number 1, then like that's like this is what we need, and we are not backing from that, like as like Qatari said before, like enough with the concessions, like we know those are traps, we know those don't get our people free. I just again one thing that like one thing I also wanted to interject was like when you talked about how like like this did like Emiliano Zapata did not set out to like destroy the capitalist system, like his ideas sprang from the peasantry, not a socialist program. Like that to me like that speaks so much about like us here at Black Hammer. It's like we're not tied to like this like socialist program like reading of Marx. Right, we are of and for the colonized poor and working class. Our brilliance comes from being poor and colonized working class. We get that. We know what we need to get free, right? We don't need some like grand like program out of nowhere to be like sprung up and like built out of like think tanks or universities, or like from like this from the científicos. Like these are our lived experiences, right? We don't we know how to like overturn the core of the contradiction, which is colonialism. We've been knowing that, and Zapata, he draws from the peasantry of his time, and also I'm sure like the peasantry, the ancestors that came before him, having grown up on the land, on the indigenous lands of Mexico. So again, that just tells me all like about Black Hammer, about our comrades, like why this organization is so successful, right? And really like speaks for the colonized masses. Like that's who we are. That's who we is, baby. And yeah, again, like when we were like, when we were taught this, right? And then we were going to talk about this earlier. Like when we were taught this, like I don't know, like I think it was like middle school or something. But we were talking about like Pancho Villa or like Emiliano Zapata. I feel like it was lacking, right?
Yeah, just a bunch like painted as just a bunch of rebels and not as organized as they actually were in the past. I felt like it was just a bit disrespectful and also just not true. And it really just goes disrespectful. They were fighting for the peasants, but nah, they were painted as just some rebels, just like little skirmishes, wanted to like play revolutionary. Nah, that wasn't it. They weren't playing revolutionaries. Nah, they weren't playing. They were going up against the ruling class of a whole nation, fighting for the land, labor, resources of the peasants.
Disrespect. Well, right. I guess that's true. That's true. They put that disrespect on our ancestors' name. Like, how dare you? Like just say, oh, they're just a bunch of rebels. Like, they didn't really do that much. Like, Zapata was this dude with the mustache. Like, that's that's really like as a teenager, that's how I knew Zapata. I was like, okay, like this dude's badass. Okay, like he's got like the gun and then like all the what do they call it? What do they call it? With the bullets. Damn it! Why did I forget it?
All right, well, it'll come. I'm sure it'll come.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Yes, they were going up against an entire colonizer nation. Like why would you die like that? Like it's inspiring, right? That is, and even then, even the way it was like downplayed, right? And like history was just skewed towards Madero, who was like the neo-colonial sellout of the time for the Mexican Revolution. Like he was hyped up as like this. Oh, he took power, right? And like became like president after the Mexican Revolution. But like even then, when like Pancho Villa and Zapata were like downplayed and really taught wrong, I still viewed them as just as like, okay, these some badasses right here. They are they're willing to fight for their people, willing to do whatever it takes. And one of the things that I like respected the most, like growing up, was like they're willing to like take that fight like on their own hands, right? Like take up the mantle, right, as a revolutionary. Not just wait for like the state to like hopefully take care of their demands, right? No, that's like Zapata was like the definition of a revolutionary fighter, and it took me a while to like unlearn that, and I don't know what it took for you, kind of thing, but like for me, I think it's just like reading more, like into the history of Zapata and really like the demands of like land reform and what was actually like, and even like what material, like the material like how that materially showed up for like the people of Chiapas or Morelos during the Mexican Revolution.
Definitely. Yeah. And also this book is just sort of unlocking a lot in my mind about our ancestors and how they've always been fighting the true oppressors. I think especially like we didn't know about anything like the plan of Ayala or the plan of San Luis Potosí. Like we weren't taught any of that. They were organized. They actually had their plans. They actually knew what they wanted to fight for. But we're still actually just painted as just rebels, and I think that's just complete disrespect.
Yes, there's a book on Zapatistas. Oh, see, Solimar, like you're gonna have you're gonna have to let me like finesse that book or something, because I want that book. That would have been great when I was like teaching middle school to actually like have that book for my middle schoolers to like teach about the Zapatas, about the Zapatistas, to my students. That would have been dope. So yeah, we're gonna need or just send me the link. Send me the link, please. Let me know where I can find them. No, there's just so many. Like one thing that just like came to mind was like this the intentionality of behind this miseducation. It's like they don't want you to they don't want you to see your ancestors like actually getting to the core of the contradiction, right? Then that's the most important thing for them to like really ingrain in your minds, right? Yes, exactly. Like it's so annoying. Like the people like they want you to think that Zapatistas were like anarchists and are just like unorganized, really. Like they don't have a plan, they don't know what they're doing, they're just kind of like out there, like out in like the like selvas and like the jungles of like Chiapas and like these like more like southern parts of Mexico. And it's like that's not true. That is absolutely not true. Like again, the disrespect, right? That's like some like colonizer like white left stuff of like trying to be like, oh, the Zapatistas were like anarchists. They don't have a political line. They don't have organization. Yeah, there's just so many forces like trying to like, so many forces trying to tell us about our ancestors and about like who they are, when really like that's not the case. And they want it like that. Again, they want you to think that your ancestors don't know shit. Your ancestors like don't understand the core of the contradiction and have this struggle towards overthrowing colonialism, right? But our ancestors are brilliant. Our ancestors are courageous. They're mighty. They have been carrying this anti-colonial like revolutionary spirit. And yeah, again, books like these are like why people join Black Hammer, right? Why people become revolutionaries. Laying back. What we got next, Dan? Where are we going from here?
We doing some more fundraising. We're $20 away from our goal. If y'all keep showing us some love like you did before, I know we can blow past this. All right.
Yeah, $20 is light work. Come on, y'all.
$20 work. Some light. That's some light. Come on. I know y'all can blast past this. All right. Let's get it.
So all right. Drop them donations in the chat. I want to see y'all giving what you can towards Hammer City. Yeah, we $20 away from this. Again, Hammer City. We building it for our people, by our people. It's gonna be so beautiful. No cops, no rent,
Legends
no
5, Tolly,
coronavirus, no colonizers. No, I'm gonna say that again. No rent, no coronavirus, no cops, and no white people.
T Hammer pledging 5 for the revolution. Para la revolución.
Para la revolución.
Land back.
Gracias, gracias, muchas gracias. Yeah, let's get some more donations. See if we can get some more here. Again, Hammer City. We're building it. Hammer City is not a dream. Hammer City is not some myth. Hammer City is very much real. Because Black Hammer, we're poor working class.
We had 10. We got. Oh, now we got 40. We
40 from Ina.
Hey, land back. Thank you.
Land back. What else? What's that one?
That's 10. Crisantema. Land back. Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Ooh. I feel like I'm my mom right now. Anytime I speak Spanish, I feel like my mom. Ay, muchas gracias, mija. Muchas gracias, mijo. I mean, activating that mom. All
right, if y'all got any read that backs, make sure y'all. We do have one right here. Read that back, page 10.
Yes.
Right. The white power propagandists can trick the masses forever. A public hoping through NAFTA to establish itself in the first world suddenly had to recognize how deeply a part of the third world it remained. To their immense credit, within a few days, the stupefying confusion and bewildering denunciations, right, left, and center, most Mexicans outside Chiapas formed two clear, simple opinions. They were for the poor Indians in Chiapas, and they were against war.
Mm-hmm.
Land back.
Land back. Trying to find it in my book. No, that page 10.
Page 10.
Yeah, that might be page 10 on the PDF. Well, that's okay. What do you think? What you glean from that, Dale? Tell me.
I think it was really the last part. The last part of like they weren't for like the Indians from Chiapas, the indigenous peoples from Chiapas. I think, and that's really if you want to go like to like the real birth of revolution in the Mexican state. It all started in the contradictions that the indigenous people in Chiapas laid out, and also I love how it really did touch on the impact of NAFTA as well. It was oh yeah, I see it now. Okay, cool.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So to me, like, to me, I really like understood it as oh, we got another. Well, let me read it again because I'm like, first one. The white power propagandists can trick the masses. To their immense credit, nothing should be stupefying confusion. Right. So, in terms of like principle of unity, like, I'm really reading as like number 4. What do you think, Dan?
Yeah, it really does touch. I think it does touch on like how they split into two separate opinions. They were either for the poor working class that was in Chiapas, or you were against war. It was pretty clear, like through that we got back that
yeah.
oh,
But also just like I think one thing that I'm thinking about, because it was talking about like it was talking about how like regardless of nation, right? How like you had like so many other people like outside of Chiapas,
right.
right? Like this isn't their like you would think like it's not their struggle. They're just kind of like outsiders looking in, but they're really not. Like we as colonized people are like united, right? Because we've been through that. We don't like see each other's struggles and say, oh, like that's like we have no idea what these people are going through. Yes, we fucking do. Sorry. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. Like our ancestors have that lived experience of struggling against colonialism, right? And so, right, that unity is like it shows that unity is so organic when people like see what's going on with the Zapatistas, and they're like, oh yeah, we're like we support y'all. We fully support the indigenous peoples of Chiapas. It was beautiful. So yeah, like yeah, showing that like unity can come from like multiple nations. And again, like we are stronger together regardless of our colonized nations. What's going on?
There was a comment by Erendira that I really actually wanted to touch on.
Go ahead.
The strategy of the Zapatistas to honor civilian lives and center the people truly won the masses, and that goes like the way that armed struggle was strategized by the Zapatistas. It was, yes, as Erendira just pointed out, putting the civilian lives before. And it was really, yeah, it really just truly won. Like, hey, like we got your backs. Like no matter what, I know we're in a war, but we're always gonna have the masses' interest first, and that should always come first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that right, that speaks to the Zapatistas, but also like for us as Black Hammer, like that speaks for Black Hammer as well, right? Whenever when we're doing outreach, when we plan these outreaches, when we plan like our candlelight vigils, right? We put the masses at the center, right? We understand like where our people are at, and again provide for them, right? Like what do our people need in order to really in order to like overturn colonialism, right? And so we are out like every weekend. You got hammers in your hood every weekend. Like if you're in the hood, you can bet hammers are there. Passing out food, clothes, PPE, right? And because we know, again, we are the poor, working class, colonized masses. We understand how to take care of our people, and same thing with like the candlelight vigils, right? We've like our communities have lost so many people due to COVID, this colonial virus, really this U.S. colonial government literally like letting this genocide go through in our communities. And like every time I do outreach, it's every time there's just people talking about, oh yeah, like down the block, dude died from COVID, or two family members are like quarantined, over there. Like they like this has hurt our communities like so bad, and we haven't had that time to mourn, right? That time for to really honor the people that we've lost. And so, we got to meet our people where they're at. We understand that's what our people need, and that's why we're holding candlelight vigils every month. to give that space for our people, and also provide for them, right? Just like our revolutionary ancestors have done, and we will continue to do, carry that torch, and finally overthrow colonialism, and be free, land back. Where are we at, Dan? What are we doing next?
We got another read that back. You want to read it?
Yeah, for sure. All right, let me get through this one. So read that back from Renata, and back Renata. Mexico's post-revolutionary elite had to find ways of demobilizing these radicalized groups, while the strategies employed range from co-optation to outright repression. This process of demobilization and de-radicalization could never be completely successful, for the very reason that rural rebellion actually served as one of the modes of confirmation and existence of the Mexican state community. Rural rebellion was not only fundamental in giving birth to the giving birth to the post-revolutionary Mexican state. It was also fundamental in constructing the relationship between those who govern and those who are governed. The only way that radicalized rural populations could be rearticulated as citizens of, rather than antagonists to, the new emerging post-revolutionary Mexican state was by finding a way to bind them to the new regime, and that's on page 43. And back, yeah, that one. Thank you for sharing, y'all. Read that backs. Yeah, that one. Yes, yes. Again, like these, like these like state forces, right? And colonial sellouts. Really, they knew what was happening with the peasantry, and they knew like these like radical demands from Zapata. They, like, their effects would just not go away, right? So they had to so that read that back like lays out, again, like finding, like tying people to the new state. Like, how are they going to do that? Like how, like, again, materially, like you dangle that carrot, and try to get people to work to, like, again, use their labor for the state rather than for their own liberation, as was seen with the Zapatistas. And that shows like the power of revolution, right? Once you have that revolutionary fire, that spirit, that drive, and you start building for your people, there's nothing else that really can replace it, right? In your mind. So they knew like we gotta find a way to take care of these people, like as this new like Mexican state after post-revolution. Yeah, and that's our power, y'all. Like whenever we're united and fighting towards our common interest of dictatorship over our lives, our land, labor, and our resources, that's a powerful thing. So whenever we do that, the state is quaking in their boots. They're not actually scared, though. I'm sure they're a lot more scared than that. They're a lot more scared than that. But yeah, it's powerful, and it strikes fear in our enemies. Strikes fear in those who are oppressing us. So laying back. Did we have another comment?
It was commenting about like how even with yeah, the rural peasantry masses had their land, but the fake post-revolutionary government made all those new policies to get them to give up the land. Yes.
Yes. Like, and that's another thing about like concessions, right? About these like progressive reforms is that they don't last forever, right? If you really expect like your oppressor, these like neo-colonial sellouts to like be like, you know, hold their word, and like you think you can hold them to their word, like that is wrong. Like history has proved that wrong time and time again. Like you really think you can hold like Obama like kept his promises to colonize people? You really think Kamala Harris and like whatever promises like she makes are going to be true, like are going to be true, and she's going to fulfill them? No, not at all. Like any concessions, anything that they say, anything that they do, it's just going to be like taken right back, and we're going to be left with none, right? And so like we can't rely on these things to be forever. You know, I am back. I think what we got next. Let's go. Do we have another? I think. Do we have another? Read that back. Yeah, I think we have one more. Or right?
Yeah. Well, we do have read that back right here.
Mm-hmm.
We want to go through that really quickly.
Yeah. I'm excited for this one, honestly.
So
well.
This one's on page 56.
56.
Yeah, 56.
That. Yeah, I love how like we're like again, a lot of this can be tied to like today. Like when I was reading this, I felt this yeah, I felt it being tied to a lot of things that were happening today. Okay, so here's the read that back. In the early 1980s, cadres from an urban guerrilla organization entered Chiapas to add the last element necessary to give rise to the Zapatista Army of National Liberation. Formed in the north of Mexico in 1969 by survivors of earlier guerrilla initiatives, the Forces of National Liberation, Fuerzas de Liberación Nacional, had sent operatives into the highlands of Chiapas in order to initiate a new front of armed struggle in preparation for the anticipated protracted political, military, national struggle necessary to install a socialist system. Indeed, Subcomandante Insurgente Marcos, military leader and spokesperson of the Zapatista Army of National Liberation, would recount years later that the EZLN was born on November 17, 1983, in a meeting attended by 3 indigenous people and 3 mestizos. If you don't know, like mestizos is like it's Spanish for like mixed blood, and that's like there's a whole myth around like that being like the like Mexican race kind of thing. The neocolonial sellouts invented that to like give Mexicans like an identity, like an I guess like a non-indigenous identity. But yeah, that's what mestizo is. In 1984, along with the first group of guerrillas, Marcos went to live in the Lacandon jungles, harsh mountainous terrain, and it is there that the urban and Marxist core of the EZLN came face to face with the indigenous culture and heritage of Chiapas, confrontation which would force the former to reconfigure and subordinate itself to the latter. The defeat of Marxist dogma by the cultural and historical force of indigenous reality in Chiapas allowed the EZLN to expand and to begin recruiting new members from communities. Land back. Land back. So this section I particularly love. It is again, it is very much tied to our fourth principle of unity. Like especially the last part where it talks about like this like Marxist dogma like being like defeated by like the cultural and historical force of indigenous reality, right? This is how they try to make the raza erase. Yes, exactly. Right. This like non-indigenous, non-African like identity of like mestizo was like literally just like created like it's like they just thought they could just invent the whole ass race or something. Yes, that is colonial hierarchy, right? It's again they needed like that to invent that hierarchy like when the Mexican state was like founded. And yeah, but going back to the read that back. So again, as Black Hammer, like we're not like tied to like this like Marxist dogma to like these like particular like one particular set of readings or like one particular like revolutionary like we study, we learn and grow because of all of our revolutionary ancestors, right? Regardless of colonized nation. That's where we learn. That's where we learn from. We learn from our ancestors. And so reading this in this book about the Zapatistas is like, yo, baby, like, like we just like the Zapatistas, right? We learn from our revolutionary ancestors in that way. We learn from the people who are directly tied to the land. Yeah, and it also later on it would talk about like the success of that strategy, right? Of that's what really allowed the EZLN to expand and begin recruiting new members. And right, it just proved as like this is what anti-colonial struggle is all about. It's not like beating someone over the head with like with this like Marxist dogma and everything. But what you thinking?
Yeah, this really I think this is a real preface to the modern day Zapatistas and how this was formed. So as this half was going through, the Marxist dogma was just defeated, and it was about the indigenous reality and what their struggles were in Chiapas, and that always had to come first. And so I feel like that's what we do here at Black Hammer. We look for the struggles of our indigenous African wherever they are. We look for their struggles. We want to know their struggles, and we want to be subjected to the masses and what their needs are, because ultimately we're here to serve the masses.
Right, and they are and again, not just like listening to their needs, but knowing that they are the leadership of this revolution, right? Like the poor, working class, colonized people are the leaders of Black Hammer, right? And so it is is imperative that we are that we uphold that leadership, right, of our chiefs, because they're not chiefs, they're not leaders because they're like that have read more than anyone else or like know more like dogma or like some political theory. No, they are leaders because they know how to organize for our people effectively, right? As all of us are, right? All of us as like comrades in the organization. We know how to do it. We don't need some theory from 100 years ago to like that's outdated and everything to tell us what it is. We already know what it is. Land back. Do you want to add anything?
Just that this is perfect. It will tie into the modern day Zapatistas. We'll get to know more about them next time.
Yes, we do. I think we've got a couple things to take care of before like the next 5 minutes. Let's see. Yeah, do we have announcements coming up? Or actually, yeah, before we get into announcements, yeah, before we head out, what I'm excited about, like going further into this book, because like we just laid out really the historical struggle like that came before the Zapatistas, right? And really how that helped build is like what we're about to get into. I really appreciate this part. I really appreciate the again, getting to know like my ancestors, right? Like we talked about how we weren't really taught this history, right? And it makes me feel so powerful, like to know exactly what my ancestors were fighting for, how they went about it, the struggle of like holding this like anti-colonial line in the face of like you know, this like Marxist dogma and everything. Like it truly does make me feel powerful because I'm armed with this knowledge of like how to move forward, you know. And I'm looking forward to really, again, in like being informed of like how my ancestors have moved in the past, you know. We got a comment.
Love the comment.
Yeah, we listen to the people and organize around the people's needs. Black Hammer is literally saving lives. We're crucial for our communities, and our communities are crucial for us. I could not have said that any better. We need that framed somewhere. Like we need that framed somewhere. That was beautiful. Land back. Yes, great book. It is like we're not done with this book. We have more to go. We have a lot more to learn. I don't know about y'all, but I know I got a lot to learn. Daniel, how much did we fund?
We so y'all showed out this morning. We got $130. We passed our goal, but we want more. Next week, let's aim for 150. I know y'all can do it. All right, let's get 150 next time. All right, show up for the twins. All right, so we got some announcements, y'all. Carlos, did you want to announce that? I got announcements. You know what?
You go. What you?
Yeah. You take a rest. You take a rest.
Put it off on me.
All right. Principle of unity number 3: all problems colonized people face are from colonialism. All right. So this is for the colonizer class, right?
Yeah, it's for the colonizer class. So we have solved the white question. We have solved the white question, and we know that you really cannot be leaders in this anti-colonial struggle. They must submit to our leadership, and so yes, and so we've got a reparations course going on, and we really got to be teaching these white people how to give reparations, but that's okay. Right. So please, if you know any colonizers that are ready to give reparations, or even if they're not ready, just tell them. just tell them you're ready to give reparations. Please sign have them sign up for this reparations course, and it's I think it's every Sunday. Yeah, every Sunday.
6 to 8 Eastern.
6 to 8 Eastern. Yeah, tell them to free up that part of their schedule. Tell them they're not big. They're not busy on Sundays. I don't know what they're doing. What do colonizers do on Sundays? I don't know. But they're free. And Yeah, so that's every Sunday. I think that's it. Are there any more announcements? Next announcement. Yes. So next week we're going to be going over chapter 2 of this book, the Zapatistas. I think it's about 30 pages. Yeah, 30 pages. The next chapter. Yeah, there's not like a lot of chapters, but like it's some heavy reading. Honestly, it's really good. You're gonna be learning a lot. Every page is filled with that political education, filled with that anti-colonial struggle that we can all learn and grow from. So tune in next week for the book trap, going over chapter 2, and we will be back. We will be back to go through it with y'all. So
read it. Get some read that backs for next time. We love y'all.
Also, yeah, donation. Make sure we still donate next week in raising funds. So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for spending this morning with us. Hopefully y'all finish your coffee and your breakfast. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
Land back.
Land back.